Whenever I've played Manor Lords, I've stuck pretty close to the default experience. That means Hildebolt encroaching upon my borders, raiders showing up right on schedule, and a king who somehow always needs just a bit more tax revenue. But this time, I want a clean slate. But more importantly, I want peace. No Hildebolt, no raiders, no royal demands. Just me, the land, and unlimited creative control. And when left unchecked, my creativity doesn't sprawl, it organizes, it plans. Block by block, line by line, a perfectly ordered settlement guided by a higher calling of efficiency. The roads, straight. The parcels, identical. The layout, revealed to me in a dream, somewhere between divine revelation and urban planning manual. Some might say it's unnatural, others might wonder why a medieval village needs 132-foot wide rights-of-way. To them I say, you don't understand oxen throughput. These wits will serve us now and hundreds of years into the future. And today, we're gonna build that paradise. And it'll be the best city ever planned in Manor Lords. And if you're excited to master plan a city in Manor Lords, hit the like button. Or if you'd rather just build organically, whatever that means, hit the like button for that too, and let me know how you like to play in the comments below. Or just leave an emoji representing the greatest city plan ever for the sake of engagement. And without further ado, let's jump right in. And here we are at the start of a brand new community. Now, normally I like to race towards inventorying the land and then building up a food supply and ensuring that we have enough lumber. But I want to do something a little bit different today. We're going to pause things, and rather than looking around, I want to lay out the city. So to that end, we're going to build a whole bunch of roads. And we can do this because in Manor Lords, the roads just kind of spawn instantaneously and they have no cost associated with them. So we're going to lay out the most magnificent layout that you've ever seen. We're going to start on one side and lay out this entire map tile. I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard, but I think that this might be the perfect city layout. It has perfect roadway hierarchy. We've got arterials. You can see all of these roads that have 2 lanes, arterials. Everything else is a collector, and that's all that you need. We have no local roads, and I'm not sure that we need them, because if we place all of our uses on one of these roads, it's going to be very easy to navigate, and it's going to be very easy to get around if you're an oxen. Now, if you're walking, you're going to need an oxen, but that's okay. So now we can start to think about our land uses, and I want to orient everything around one of 2 things. The temple, which I think that we're going to build right about here, or our lake. Those are the 2 focal points of our community. But before we can start thinking about the temple, we have to start thinking about stabilizing our population. That's building homes, that's making sure that we have lumber, that's making sure that we have food. So we're going to do that all right now. So the first thing I want to build is a logging camp. And I think I'm going to place that right about here. Then we'll build a hunting camp. I'll place that right here. And we'll build our fisherman's hut. Now, I've said a lot about oxen, and I think we have to be cognizant of our need for oxen. So we're also going to build a livestock trading post right away. And we'll place that right here off from our arterial. And then finally, we'll queue up our first few homes. And I think that will go 5 burgage plots per lot. And would you look at that? Our city is already so great that it's already leveled up to level 1. And we know what we have to unlock right away. We have to make sure that we have advanced pond keeping so we get even more fish and can turn that lake into the real focal point of the city it's supposed to be. So now we've got a couple of problems. We currently don't have any storage, so we're gonna have to build that, and we need more homes if we're gonna grow the community at all. So to that end, we'll build a granary right here, right next to our fishing pond, and we'll build a storehouse right here next to our lumber industry. Now, speaking of lumber industry, there's more that we need to flesh out here, including having a forester and a woodcutter so that we have firewood. And you know, now that I think about it, I'm gonna take all of these uses and place them within this square over here. That right there is peak organizational efficiency. And then finally, I will add a couple more homes over here as well, but we're gonna change the orientation just for funsies. far things are looking good, but we're supposed to be orienting around the church and we haven't built it yet. So to that end, let's see what we need. It looks like we need some planks. We don't have any place that we're producing them, so we'll need to build a saw pit, and I'll place that right here within our wood cutting square. And now that that's complete, I've been moving the workers around to make sure that we're continuing to produce everything that we need, and I've assigned someone here to our saw pit. So in short order, we should have plenty of planks to be able to build our church. And it didn't take long at all, and now we have enough planks to build our wooden church. So I want to orient this towards the lake. So we're bringing together the two most powerful forces in our community, the lake and the temple, and we're bringing them and making them one. And this will be the first local road that we have in our community. It took us the better part of winter, but we finally have our grand temple right across from our beautiful lake. So now we need to start thinking about our citizens' needs. And if we look at any of our burgage plots, we can see that we're missing fuel stall access, food stall access, clothing stall access, and water access. This is an easy fix. All we need is one small marketplace, which we'll build right here, and it'll have the ability to place 95 market stalls there. And we'll also build a well. And I'm going to place that right here behind this burgage plot. And now we're starting to cook with fire. You can see that our happiness is above 50%, which means that people will start moving into our fair community. So with that in mind, I want to start making sure that we have enough oxen to satiate all of this need that we're about to have. So to that end, we're going to add our second local road. And we'll build all of the hitching posts back here. I think that this might be enough. We'll have to see. And that right there is a thing of beauty. But before we can start to populate these with all of our oxen, we're going to need to make sure that we have a steady supply of money. So to that end, I want to see what it's going to take to level up some of our burgage plots. And it looks like it's just clothing stall supply. And that's because we don't currently have leather. We are collecting some pelts over here, but we're not doing anything with them. So we're going to need to build a tannery, and I'll place that right here, right next to our hunting camp. And after we assign someone to work here, we should have everything that we need to start leveling up all of these homes. And that's great because we now have more citizens as well, and everyone loves living in this community, which, I mean, is it surprising? Strong roadway hierarchy. I'd live here too. And indeed, after just waiting a couple of moments, we have our first couple of homes that we can upgrade. And this is crucial for us because now we've leveled up, we have a new development point, and we finally have a little bit of regional wealth generation. So that means that we could start buying some oxen, and you better believe that we're going to. So we'll assign one person here, and we'll import 2 more oxen. And we have 2 more buildings that we can upgrade, so we're going to upgrade these as well. And now we have to start thinking about the efficiency of our settlement. So I want to make sure that we are logging the same location. So I'll limit the work area to this one tile. And we will add a forester, and they'll work this exact same location. And then we'll add some homes to this tile. And this is really turning into a thing of beauty, though I am noticing one small issue. We currently are running out of fuel, and that's because I removed our woodcutter. We're going to add them back into the mix, and that should place us in a really sustainable spot. We've also got our 3 oxen now, which is outstanding. Super pumped about that. So now that we have a little bit of money, I think that we should start farming behind all of our burgage plots. And I've decided to alternate, all nice and organized like. And we've even upgraded this last burgage plot right here to level 2. And that was all we needed to reach the next settlement level and get another development point. And with that, you better believe that we're going to go for heavy plow and start farming. And we're also going to unlock charcoal burning because we're having a bit of a problem with firewood. And reasonably, our biggest problem is that right now we're only logging this area that doesn't have trees. So temporarily, let's change our work area to back here. And we'll give them an additional worker. And after just a couple of moments, we've got some more lumber again, so let's continue to expand. And I wanted to build this block out because we're going to establish our next pattern. And that is farming in the center of these blocks. So we'll place a farmhouse right here and then add a field right to the center. And right away, we've got to make sure that we're adding a plowing station. Now this farmhouse is going to be able to serve more than just this one field, so I better develop this next block as well. And again, we'll rotate the homes just for funsies. But before we build our field, we also need to build a windmill and a communal oven. And now that we have our second field built, we need to start to load up our farmhouse. So we're gonna obviously add one of our oxen here. And then each of these fields is 2 Morgan, so I'm gonna add 4 families here. I feel like we have the template and we're going to expand this, but before we do that, I want to expand our granary because it's full, as well as our storehouse, which is also full. And now that these are both complete, I'm going to assign an additional worker to each of them. And we're gonna need these if we wanna be able to upgrade all of our homes. And I know that that leaves us with no open families. We're just gonna have to wait until someone else moves into the community before we build anything else. And while we're waiting for that, let's set up our farm fields. And we're not going for barley. This is not a community that you can drink in. Now that will make it difficult to upgrade our community, but I'm not all that worried about that. And now that we've added the extra food stalls, we have more buildings that can upgrade. Now to have employees for that, I'm gonna remove a family from the logging camp and we'll just upgrade 100% of these homes. And that right there is gonna be money for more oxen. And at this point, we've established the perfect city template, so I think that we just have to run with it and rapidly expand this city. And now that everything has been built, we can take in the splendor of this community, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This is a city that is primed to grow, not just now, but in the future. And look at the number of oxen that we have. I said that this is a city for oxen with rights of way that are designed for oxen. And because of that, we've imported 25 oxen just to get things moving around the map as quickly as possible. And part of that is because this is a large grid, you know, a little hard to get around as a pedestrian, but as an ox, you can get around here quickly. And thankfully, because we've designed such an oxen-friendly city, people love living here. We've got a ton of people that have moved in. We've got plenty of space for more, and we have a ton of food. And that's because we are farming up a storm, because we have a ton of oxen that can plow all of these fields. And there's only one thing that this city is missing, an appropriate name. So we'll call it Fresh Lake City. That feels like an appropriate name to me, especially with this beautiful grid, the temple right here, and this wonderful lake. And we've got to check this out. Look at that. This is a superb design, incredibly organized. It is wonderful. Honestly, I hate to admit this. Even though this was supposed to be a silly joke build, it actually works really well and people like living here. Joke's on me, I guess.